So picture yourself dragging through another soul-crushing workday, counting the hours just so you can afford to buy that $1,000 designer bag or those sneakers that cost more than your rent. And you tell yourself that if I have that, people will finally see me as a somebody. But deep down, you know that's a lie. That sinking feeling, the one that hits you when you check your bank account or stare at a pile of bills, it's not an accident, it's a trap. A cold, calculated trap that keeps you chained to a job that you hate, bleeding your time and soul for brands that don't really care about you. So today, we're gonna rip apart the grim reality of flashy brands and why the richest people in the world, they won't even touch them. Let's have a real conversation about why we fall for these brands, how they are woven into the suffocating web of wage slavery, and how you can claw your way out. I wanted to share a story with you. A few years ago, I was in a department store. I saw this Hugo Boss belt, and it was $100, way more than I'd ever spent on a belt. But for some reason, I don't know, maybe it was work itself, I just kind of convinced myself that it was worth it. Yeah, $100 for a belt must be good quality, If I have a $100 belt, it means that I'm kind of successful. So I bought it, hoping that it would make me feel like I've escaped the grind of my 20 years as a consultant, paying mortgages and drowning in a work that I hated. But get this, 6 months later, the buckle rusted. Rusted! My $15 belts never did that. So I stood there looking at this overpriced junk, feeling like I've been played, That moment really burned. Like I'd spent decades trading my life for a paycheck, and I thought a logo would mean that it was worth something, right? It didn't. So why do we do this? Why do we drop $1,000 on a Louis Vuitton bag or $10,000 on a Rolex when a $10 watch tells you time just as well? You see, it's not about quality at all. A Rolex might have better craftsmanship than a $10 watch, but is it 1,000 times better? No. Is a $1,000 bag 100 times more functional than a $10 one? Not even close. We're not buying those things for ourselves. We're sort of buying them to mask the shame of feeling that we're not enough. And the cruel genius of wage slavery understands that. The system, the corporate greed, the consumerism, call it whatever you want, it feeds on our insecurities. It shoves us into jobs we despise, working 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours a week just to afford things that scream, I'm not worthless. So there's this guy, David Graeber, who wrote Bullshit Jobs, a great book, by the way. He said that most of our work exists to prop up as a system that doesn't care if we live or die. We're trapped trading our time, our existence for scraps, only to spend them on status symbols that leave us emptier than before. It's a brutal, rigged game. And the people at the top, they laugh all the way to the bank. Like, think about this. The truly rich, like Warren Buffett or Bill Gates, they don't play this game. They're free from that gnawing insecurity that chains us to logos. But who's buying the flashy brands? It's us, the workers, the people like me who spent years grinding, hoping a designer label would make that pain feel worth it. Look at the influencers with their fake perfect lives, or the rappers buried in bling bling. They're not the elite. They're wannabes. They're often just as trapped as us, chasing approval through expensive toys. The real elite, they're wearing faded t-shirts and driving beat-up cars because they don't need to prove anything. They're out of the game. And here's the truth that the system hides. You can get out too. Now this is where it gets a bit darker. Money doesn't just steal your time, it weaponizes your fears. We live in a world where status is your stuff. No fancy watch, no designer bag, you're invisible. Brands like Rolex or Louis Vuitton, they aren't selling products, they're selling a cruel promise. Buy this and you'll matter. Philosopher Alain de Botton calls this the status anxiety, the relentless dread that you're falling behind. Brands feast on that dread. They're not selling quality, they're selling a bandage for your insecurity, but no logo will ever heal that wound. Now, I learned that with my rusted Hugo Boss belt, and I know that you have a story like that one too. So, how do you break free from this suffocating cycle? Well, I think it starts with facing the truth of the reality that we live in. You're a slave, not just to your job, but to the lie that your worth comes from what you can buy. You see, I'm an introvert, and I know how much a job you hate can drain your soul. I spent 20 years in that prison, but I'm fighting my way out. I wrote this book, The Brutal Truth About Work, to expose the lies about our jobs. I started building digital assets, a YouTube channel, a web shop, and passive income streams to reclaim my time. Now, it's not easy. It's freaking hard. It can be fun, though. And it is work. It's real work. Okay, not soul-crushing work, but it is work. But the most important thing to understand here is that it is possible. So you can work on your escape too, if you're willing to put in the effort, learning skills that can leverage your output, like coding or content creation or digital marketing. Use tools like ChatGPT and AI to get ahead where most wage slaves don't even know how to start. I made a free tutorial on my web shop how to help people build passive income because I believe that anyone can learn this. You don't have to stay trapped. So stop buying into the lie. Don't swear off nice things. Buy quality if you can, good clothes, solid gear, but skip the logo, okay? Skip the 10,000 Rolex or the 1,000 bag. Ask yourself, am I buying this for me or someone else? If it's for them, walk away. Invest in things that builds your freedom, skills, tools, assets. That's how you outsmart the market. That's how you can start breathing again. Now, the truth is, you don't have to live in chains. The flashy brands, the corporate greed, the weight of proving yourself, it's a game that you can refuse to play. The richest people in the world, they don't wear Rolex or Louis Vuitton because they don't need to, and neither do you. It's not easy, but you can escape. You can learn, build, and fight for a life where your worth isn't tied to a logo. The choice is yours. Stay in the dark or start carving out your own path to freedom. So, what's your experience with wage slavery or the pressure to buy expensive brands? Have you ever bought something flashy and regretted it? Or do you think it's possible to break free? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one, and I can't wait to read your story. If you enjoy the content I create and want to help me keep going, consider supporting me on Patreon. Your membership would make a huge difference, and you'll get access to behind-the-scenes content and some other cool stuff along the way. As always, thank you for listening. Do me a favor and tap that like button to show your support. Subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. Until next time, stay hungry, relentless, and strong in your journey of escaping wage slavery. Bye. Oh, you're still here. Oh, that's right. It's the behind the scenes vlog. So this segment of the video is where I share more personal things. It's mostly for my subscribers, but if you're new here, you're more than welcome to stick around. I hate to admit this, but my Achilles heel in consumerism is Apple. I have my Mac Studio here. I have my iPhone, my MacBook. It's silly, but I love their products. I hate the company. I hate how they package everything as premium and charge super premium prices. And I tell myself that they make the best products. But the truth is, I could do with an Android. I could work with a PC. I just don't want to. So I admit that I am at flaw here. Apple is just another company. They're just really, really good at marketing. And from my geeky side of tech, I can tell you that they do actually make great products. But the way they trap consumers in their ecosystem is so efficient that it truly does disgust me. But here's the funny thing. They're not the only ones trying this. They're just really good at it. Every other tech company is actually doing the same thing. They just can't figure out how Apple does it so well, and neither can I. It's not like Apple is the enemy here, and Google and Samsung are somehow the heroes of this story. It's sort of like that saying, don't hate the player, hate the game. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.